Hi everyone! Today we'll be showing you how I transformed some IKEA furniture and decor into high-end pieces for a fraction of the price. So let's get started. For this first DIY, I'm going to be using this decor piece from IKEA. It's called Hold It and it is $5.99. I'm also going to be using some foam balls. I'll need 4 of the larger size ones and then 4 of the smaller size ones. I did pick these up at Dollar Tree a while back. You'll also need some burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And I'm also going to be using some macrame cord and some jute cord. So to start off with, I really want you to pay attention to this technique because I do show you a different version, but this technique just makes the decor pieces look more high-end. So all I did was just add a dollop of glue onto one side of the ball, and I'm just starting to wrap the macrame cord around it. And at the same time, while the glue is still hot, I am pushing down on that macrame cord so it starts to foam into the ball. So I quickly wanted to mention that these macrame balls are running anywhere from $5 a piece, but you can make this entire project for almost next to nothing. For example, if you don't have any macrame cord or any jute cord that's about 4 to 5 millimeters in width, what you can also use from the Dollar Tree is that cotton nautical rope and just a regular jute nautical rope. Unravel that and that'll be your string, if you will. So this entire project will probably cost you about $12 to $15, especially if you're picking up the Hold It from IKEA. But you guys, the spears, which are just like the balls, are running anywhere from $10 to $34 just themselves. So this project is actually a very inexpensive, budget-friendly project, and it looks really high-end. So earlier I had mentioned that I was using a different technique, and this is the technique that I was talking about. And basically all I was doing is wrapping the burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree around the foam ball, cutting it off, and then starting again and then cutting it off. And that was the technique until I just started to wrap it all around, and I felt like it was just a lot more cleaner, even though the burlap ribbon is actually very forgiving and you can't really tell where you started and where you ended, if you will. So I feel like it's really going to be optional. I wanted to give you guys 2 different techniques, but from my own personal opinion, I believe that if you start from one end to the other of the foam ball, it just looks a lot more cleaner and it gives it that high-end look. So this is the part where I was explaining earlier of where I just stopped cutting the ribbon and continued wrapping the ribbon around the foam ball. And really all I was doing as the glue was still hot is just slightly pulling it and then pushing down on the ends so that it starts to get the form of the ball. And you don't want to pull too hard, because if you pull too hard, you do stretch out the burlap ribbon and then you're going to be able to see the foam ball through it. And again, everything is when the glue is still hot, just so that it adheres to the foam ball, if that makes sense. I also forgot to mention that I am slightly overlapping the burlap ribbon so that there is no gaps of where the foam ball will seep through. If you happen to run out of ribbon like I did here, all you need to do is just really start where you ended. Like I said, this burlap ribbon is actually very forgiving, and you really can distinguish where you started and where you ended. And I also wanted to mention, because I failed to do that earlier, is that there's only 2 types of ribbon that work for this project, and it's the ribbon that I'm using now, which is like a zigzag one, and the other one's more of like a shell one or a circular one. And the third one happens to be like a rounded rectangle, which is actually see-through. So I really wanted to use that one, so I had 3 different types, but that didn't really work out. But just wanted to mention it so that you keep that in mind when you are purchasing your items for this project. After all is said and done, these are what the results look like. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think and if you're thinking about recreating them. For this next DIY, I have 2 Ivar chairs from Ikea that are about $29 a piece. And I'm going to go in to stain them so that they can match a table that I currently have. But before I do any type of staining, I like to go in with the wood conditioner. It just makes for a smooth finish and no patchiness with the stain. I did do 2 coats of the golden oak, and I would have probably gone in with like 3 to 4 coats, but I only had enough for 2. So just keep that in mind. And then I did finish this off with sealing it with like a matte polyurethane finish just to prevent any type of scratches. I let the chairs dry overnight and the next day came in to put the macrame cord. Really quickly, I just wanted to explain how much macrame cord you're going to be using. So for every 2 chairs, you'll need a spool of macrame cord. And I'm using the size of 5mm macrame cord for the chairs. I also decided just to start it off by stapling it as you see me doing here, because in the future, I would really like to repurpose these chairs and the macrame cord at the same time. So now for the weaving process, all you're going to do is go from the bottom into the middle, over the top, back into the middle again, and then you've reached the bottom and you're just going to repeat that same process over and over again. And every so often, what you're going to do is just go in and straighten out your macrame cord and tighten it as well. And to tighten, all you're going to do is just gently pull up while holding on to the other end where you're weaving. When you've come to the point where you can no longer fit the spool of macrame cord between your weaved macrame cord and the chair, you're just going to eyeball what you need of macrame cord to continue weaving and then just cut it off. A little tip is just to cut some additional macrame cord so that you have extra and not come out short, so you achieve that clean finished look. And then after you're done weaving it, you're going to finish off by just fixing the macrame cord and tightening it as we've been doing throughout the whole process, and then stapling it off. So here's what it looks like completed. I think out of the 2 DIYs we did today, this probably has to be my favorite one, or it's at least the one that I lean towards the most. But let me know in the comment section what you like, or which one you like the best, and if you're going to be recreating it. Also, if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do so by hitting on that subscribe button and that notification bell right next to it, so you are reminded every single time I upload. And until then, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Bye!